Okay guys, now this is the time when we will going to talk about the forums and how to take input from the user, because now we're going to discuss about the get global variable, which is one of the variable in PHP that you use to receive the value from the user. So let's get started. I'm sure that you all were waiting for this moment. So let's get started. It will be a whole new learning point for you guys. So let's remove it and let's create a form. I assume that you guys already know about the HTML form because it is the very basic and beginning thing to learn when you are jumping into the development field. So I'm gonna create a form. Action will leave it empty, which means this is going to submit on its own file, which means it is gonna submit in the same file which we are building right now here, test.php. Method will be get, because we are using the get variable in this example, and then close the form. And now we're gonna simply add one or two fields. Input type will be text, and we will gonna name it name, and another input, and we will gonna say email, and name will be email as well, or whatever you want to write. And then there will be a button, and we will gonna say submit. This will be our form. Let's save it, come back here, refresh. All right, let me tell you something. PHP is a server-side language. So what does that mean? PHP do not have any way to receive the input from the user. So for that, PHP take a help from HTML to receive any single data from the user as the input. So for that, we are using this form to receive the data from the user, and we will gonna look into the get variable, global get variable of PHP. So now we have submitted the form and we set the method as a get. You can see if I submit here, there are two parameters by default added by the PHP after this question mark name, and then is equals to, and there is no value, and then there is end, then another name of the field that we added there, and then is equals to no value. It is because we haven't submit any value to these, and by default get variables work as a URL parameter. So it will gonna append as many fields we have here, and we are giving a name of name and email. Let's add another field here to give you the example, and this time I will gonna say text again, and this will be last name. And by the way, make sure you do not add any extra special character except the underscore and last name, and we will gonna say it first name to give you more clarity in there. Save it, remove those parameters from here, and submit. Now as you can see, the parameters got changed: first name, last name, and email. Let's add some values. First name for us, last name pass, email is abc@abc.com, just an example. Save it, submit, sorry. And now as you can see, our URL have all the values that we have inserted into this field. First name for us, precise, then and is used to differentiate between one parameter to another parameter. Then last name, a pass, email, our email. And because it is URL encoded, our @ got changed into this code. So don't worry about that. Now you guys must be wondering, okay, what's now? We have submitted the value, that's it? No, that's just a beginning. So if I come back over here and we are using a form to receive the data, for instance, we are registering a user. So now as we are using the same file, I will gonna demonstrate both same file and the different file. Don't worry about that. It's just a single copy pasting and moving things. Don't worry about that. Now we have to check get variable is submitted or not. We can assign the name to this as well. We can say submit. Now we're gonna set if condition, and in here we can simply say the way we check is using get. This is the global variable, and now we will gonna say submit. We will gonna check for it. There is another very useful and very popular function in PHP is set. What it does, it go to the script and check if this variable is registered assign or define into the script? If yes, then it will gonna return true. Otherwise, it will gonna return false. So we are checking, does this submit button got registered hit? If yes, because we have given it a name, then and only then we will gonna process our form. Otherwise, we will not gonna process it. We will gonna say f name as a short of first name, and we will gonna use get variable to receive our first name from the URL. Same thing for last name, I will gonna use L name, last name, and then last but not least, email. Now we have received all of them. We can simply process our flow and register it into the database, check through it, filterize it, or in our case, we are just going to print it. First name, F name, and don't forget to add the BR because we need a nice and clean display. Last name, email, and that's it. Save it. Come back here, remove all this. Now if we submit for us, Abbas and ABC, submit, and here you go. It is saying email is okay. Line number 6. We used the wrong name, spelling mistake. So we have to go back, refresh, submit now, and there you go. Our data is all here. You can see email here, you can see name here, you can see Faraz here. Now there is another catch over here, just a simple one, that you don't even need this form. Okay, so if I just remove this form from here and remove all this code from here as well, and simply say get para and echo it, save it, remove all this, and now if we have undefined index para because we haven't defined it. So you can manually even parse any get variable into your URL, and you might have seen these type of things in your past while you were experiencing a browsing of a website or checking something. So how do we do that? Make sure always add question mark in a simple URL. If you are using permalinks or friendly URLs, you can just go with slash. But in simple PHP, a simple URL, you have to use, for the first time, you have to use the question mark, then the name, whatever name you want to write. I will just gonna say para, and then is equals to. After is equals to, you have to write the value, and you don't need to use quotation, you just use the simple value. And here Faraz is teaching, and there you go. Faraz is teaching right here because we are echoing here. So that's the get variable. Feel free to ask any question if you have. Take care for now. Bye bye.